Hi, I'm Carl from Tough Souls, and this is our 3-minute trail video about the Hymany Way. The Hymany Way is a linear trail between Portumna in Co.Galway and Ballygar in South Roscommon. It's officially about 90 kilometres long and there's almost no elevation change. It was our 12th trail out of the 42 National Waymark trails in Ireland. It was generally a pretty good, unstrenuous trail, and the highlight, as usual for trails in this region, was the heritage that we saw along the way. We began the trail in Ballygar and walked southwards to Portumna. We began our first day late in the afternoon. We walked some short road sections interleaved with some bog and camped in a surprisingly dry and midgeless woods in the middle of a boggy stretch only about 10 kilometres along the trail. The terrain became a bit less boggy as we went, especially on the way into Aughrim. There's a lovely old estate that you walk in through. Really nice old forestry and a castle and that kind of thing. In Aughrim, we stopped at the interpretive centre for the Battle of Aughrim, which was effectively the last battle in the Williamite-Jacobite War in Ireland. The trail intentionally goes past some important locations from this battle, including a bush where one of the Jacobite generals had his head decapitated by a cannonball. There's a section of disused canal on this part of the trail, so we were hoping to camp next to it, but we ended up taking a wrong turn and camping on an access road that looked like it hadn't been used in about 100 years. We followed the canal into Clonfert, which isn't really a town so much as it is 3 or 4 houses and a 6th century cathedral, originally founded by St. Brendan the Navigator, making it a great stop for navigators such as ourselves. The cathedral itself has a great example of Hiberno-Romanesque architecture in the doorway. We camped at Meelick Harbour, which is about 12 kilometres north of Portumna. The walk from Meelick Harbour to Portumna was fantastic, along the Shannon Callows and the ESB embankment. This gives you about an 8-foot embankment to walk along next to the Shannon, and it's a bird sanctuary, so it's just nature everywhere and birdsong and everything. It was brilliant, except there was no shelter at all, no trees. It was not a great place to be in a massive heat wave. Portumna is a lovely town on the northern shore of Lough Derg. It's got an old castle there. We found the walking on this trail to be fairly easy, but it's also quite flat and maybe a little featureless. However, the trail is part of the Beara Breifne Way, and they've done quite a lot of development lately on the trails in this region, so it's possible the trail is significantly better now. The heritage in this area is really brilliant, and it's really the reason to do this trail. The trail passes only through the towns of Aughrim and Aughrim. Aughrim is quite small. Aughrim has some accommodation options. And the trail also goes past the town of Banagher, maybe about 5 kilometres away, which definitely has accommodation options as well. Ballinasloe is the largest town in this region and has plenty of transport links and accommodation options. There is very little cover on this trail, so depending on the weather, make sure to bring your sun cream or your jacket or both things, and I think it would be a good trail to do, especially for hikers who are less interested in incredible landscape views and more interested in incredible architecture views. For any more information about what I just said, you can watch our full-length video on the trail and also read our blog post. And there's also plenty of other links and information in the description to this video. Like all of our videos, this video would not be possible without our patrons. So a big, huge thank you to all of our patrons. And for this video, I'd like to say a big thank you especially to Mags Tyrell and to Michael Quinn. Huge thank you guys. Other links and information in the description to this video next to the subscribe button.